Hi everyone and welcome back to another reading vlog. So it's just going to be another chill time where I just give you updates about my reading and everything, possibly throughout the week. It's currently Friday, so although maybe the weekend, I don't know, I'll see how much I get read because I don't have much time to read at the moment, so I can't promise how long this is going to be. I can't promise how many books I'm going to read. I can't promise anything, but I just thought it'd be fun to have a reading vlog, you know, on the go, so that I can talk about my reads. So what I'm currently reading at the moment is The Elite by Kiera Cass, I think that's how you say it. So this is the second book in the selection series, and the first book I enjoyed quite a bit. I think I rated it 4 stars, I think. But then this one, I don't know if it's just because I don't have time to read it or because I am just really struggling to get through it. Like, it's not terrible, but I feel like there's not much happening except for I forgot her name. See, I don't even know her name. Oh, America. Except for America constantly changing her mind about who she wants to be with. But at the moment I am on chapter 9 and she's like finally chosen kind of chosen who she wants to be with, but I have a feeling she's just going to change her mind again and then change her mind again, and that is why I absolutely despise love triangles. But I want to see who she ends up with, okay? But I do want to find out. So, yeah, I'm hoping to be able to finish this tonight because I've been reading this for way too long for my liking. Last night I did finish I just thought I'll tell you my last night's reads. So last night I finally was able to finish 2 books. And that is The Walking Dead graphic novel, the first one. I rated that 4 stars, really interesting. And then I also finished The Beach House. This took me 3 days to read. Only because I didn't really have time to read, but otherwise I could have read it in one night. But yeah, this I rated 2.5 stars. Again, I just don't think the series, like the book series, is for me. The movies are okay, but the book series personally just isn't for me. This one was obviously more interesting. But yeah, so that is what I've got so far. I am currently in the middle of some books, so I'm currently reading, obviously, The Elite. I'm also reading Things We Hide from the Light, Undiluted or something like that, and then I'm also reading Shadow and Bone, but I'm doing that for a different reading vlog. So, oh, and I did also start Collided, but I haven't read any since my last reading vlog. So yeah, those are the books I'm currently reading. Those are the books I'm probably going to be reading throughout this reading vlog, or I might change my mind, I don't know, we'll see. So yeah, I'm going to get reading with this and I'll give you all an update when I have one. Okay, so it's 2 days later, but I thought that I would give you guys a quick update because I have done quite a bit of reading because it has been the weekend. So it's currently Sunday, and on Friday, was it Friday? No, yesterday I finished The Elite and I rated it 3 stars. It was a fun read, a good time. Took me a bit of a long time to read, but that wasn't because of anything, it was just because I was busy. But I feel like it could have been better. And also, America bothered me a lot in this whole series. Well, mainly The Elite. So, yeah, she bothered me a lot, and that was like putting me off the story most of the time. And then last night, I read all of The One in One Sitting, which is the 3rd book in the series, and I rated at 3.5 stars. Now, I did really enjoy that one, and I felt like it was a great ending. Absolutely loved it. There was, you know, a bit of like stuff happening, which was fun to read as well. But in this one, it was more of like her going backwards and forwards of like who she loved between Aspen and Maxon, and it really bothered me. And also, it wasn't one of those love triangles where like you're rooting for like one person. I mean, obviously you are, but not rooting for the other person because you don't like the other person, because the other person's not that very nice. Like, Aspen was a nice guy, but, and so like you felt bad for him in a sense, but everyone had a happily ever after anyway, and it all was just lovely to see, lovely to read, and it was a great ending. So yeah, really enjoyed that one as well. Now I think the other 2 books in the series is America's Daughter. I could be so wrong about that, but I think that's what I've heard. But anyway, after I finished that, I started The Summer of Broken Rules. I've been meaning to read this since last summer, so it's about time that I've got to it. I'm currently 118 pages in, and it's actually really interesting so far. I feel like there could be something, you know, more happening. Meredith is also kind of annoying me a little tiny bit because, like, she's shutting everyone out because of the loss of her sister, which is, like, okay, understandable, but it's been a while. And her friends are trying to be there for her, but she's not there for them. And, you know, even her friends knew her sister. So yeah, that's kind of the frustrating bit so far. But like I said, it is interesting so far. But I'm not that far into it. So I'm going to go and read some more, and I'll give you all an update when I have one. Page 242 of Summer of Broken Rules, and a little while ago there was a scene where, how do you say the name? Lily, I think that's how you say, who is Meredith's friend, basically puts Meredith in her place and basically says that, like, her and the rest of the friend group were like good friends to her, trying to be there for her, but then Meredith wasn't, and like it was always about like the guy that she was with, and that is exactly what Meredith is still doing. Like before it was her ex, and now it's Whit. So yeah, I completely agree that I feel like Meredith is kind of being selfish throughout this, and I understand that she's grieving. I'm not, like, you know, saying anything about that, because grief can be hard. It's just, you know, it would be nice to be there for your friends as well, considering they knew her sister as well. So yeah, that's one thing. The other thing is I have heard some reviews that the romance happens a bit too quickly in this, and I don't feel like it does. I feel like it happens at like the perfect amount of time. It happens about like 150 pages in is like their first encounter. Well, not encounter, but like, you know, first time it happens. So yeah, I don't feel like it happens too quickly. I don't know. But everyone obviously has their own different opinions. But for me personally, I felt like it happened at the perfect amount of time. And yeah, so I'm enjoying the book so far. I don't know what I'm going to rate it yet. That's the thing. Because, I mean, I am able to sit here and obviously read it. But I don't know. But anyway, I don't have much of it left. Because it's like 350 something pages. And I'm on 243. So I've got about 110 pages left, if that's the correct maths, which it probably isn't. So yeah, that's what I'm going to go and do now. I'm going to go and try and finish it, but obviously I'll have an update and then I'm going to update you. Okay, so I have to do another update. Sorry for the bad angle again. I'm doing the best I can, but I just finished The Summer of Broken Rules. I decided to rate it 3.5 stars. Now, obviously that doesn't sound like a good rating at all, but to me it is. It does mean that I liked it. Obviously, like I kept saying, there was some times when Meredith would like annoy me a little bit, but then like it was kind of understandable, and she did fix, you know, her mistake that she made while she was going through like quite a tough time in her life. But near the end, yeah, she did, you know, make amends with everything. So, you know, I love the ending. It was sweet. I wanted to see more of like when they actually like, you know, got together, if that makes sense. If you read the book, you probably know. But you kind of like left guessing. So yeah, I did enjoy it. I did like it, and that's about it. So I don't know what I'm going to read next. I might read Highest Bidder by Sarah Kate, because I recently got that, and I know it won't take me long because the series before didn't take me long to read. So I might pick that up afterwards, but I have some work to do, so I'm going to go and do that, and then later on I'm going to hopefully read Highest Bidder. Okay, so I thought that I would quickly come and do an update. You might hear my dog squeaking his ball, so I'm sorry about that. But the update is I have finished Highest Bidder. Just to let you know, it's the next day. I don't think I said that. But yeah, I did finish Highest Bidder last night. 5 stars. Like, wow. Okay, so this is probably like one of my new favourite books, to be honest. But this is about Daisy, and she is like living in a van. Her mother just recently passed away, and she finds out that this random guy when she was younger gave her like $1 million to put in a bank for like when she goes to college and stuff, and she wants to know why this guy did this. You know, like, what was the reason?
What was the reason?
What was the reason?
I just explained the reason.
What was the reason, bitch?
I don't need to explain myself to you. And
what was the reason? That was cringy. But anyway, so she like finds out the name and she goes to explore. That sounds weird. She finds out the name and she goes and, you know, to this place where this guy is. But she ends up working there for 3 months and she's like kind of watching him, and this is Ronan, you know. And then eventually they meet, they start talking because she ends up on like the stage of like an auction kind of thing with a bet, and Ronan ends up winning. I don't know how to put it in like a proper way, but yeah, so he ends up paying money basically. But then later on the night, Ronan finds out Daisy's living in a van and basically demands her to stay at his place, and then things happen from there. That was a very long explanation for no reason, but that is the basis of it. But this story is just so good, and that's all I'm going to say about it, because obviously I don't want to ruin too much of it. But then also last night I did start Dark Rooms, and I got 25 pages in. I'm not feeling it at the moment, but again, nothing really much has happened, and I was tired last night, and I was like reading all day yesterday, so I don't know if it was just because of that, but I am going to try and finish this today. We'll see, because today is going to be a busy day full of more work, but I do want to try and finish this. So it's currently like almost 5, I want to say, so it is quite late, but I don't have to read some of that, do some work, or do some work and then read some of that, but I will figure it out and I will decide. But yeah, that's what I am currently reading. I don't know what it's physically about. I did read the back, but it's quite a lot of words to comprehend, especially when I was tired. But from the back, it's basically about family, and there's this girl called Helena. She now lives in a care home, I think, and then Jane is investigating a murder of a young girl, but then they find out that there's been another murder, and then they're investigating that, or something along those lines. I could be so wrong, but like I said, I'm only 25 pages in, nothing much has happened yet, but hopefully it will get better. So anyway, I'm gonna go now, but that's my update.
1 week later.
Okay everyone, so it's been a while and I have been very bad at updating this vlog, but I thought that I would just sit down and tell you everything that I have been reading, because I haven't been doing any updates or anything. But then I'm going to end this video because obviously I'm being bad at doing it. Now, the first book, well, the book I was reading last, I believe, was Dark Rooms. The update of this is that I have obviously finished it, and I rated it 2 stars. It was good in the beginning, but then as the story progressed, I felt like it was like going downhill. Personally for me, like that's just not necessarily like for everyone, but yeah, and I felt like I was losing track of the story. Now I don't know if that was a me problem, because I did end up like listening to the audiobook, but I might try and read it in the future when my focus is actually generally in the books. But at the moment, you know, I'm reading, but I can't really focus on what's going on, so I am struggling with that. So yeah, I might try and read it in the future, but for now it's a 2-star, and I don't really have anything to say about it because it isn't really like a memorable thing. And I did finish this like last week. Oh, by the way, it's a Saturday. I don't remember the last time I updated. So yeah, that's that book. And then last night I finished Vera Wong's Unsolicited Advice for Murderers. So this book I gave 2.75 stars. Again, kind of like with Dark Rooms, this book was like so good at the beginning. I was like, wow, I'm really enjoying this. I was like really hooked. I wanted to find out what happened. In the middle, it was like, you know, okay, I'm enjoying it. But then the last couple of, I want to say the last 100 pages, I felt like it's being like dragged on, and I just wanted to know what happened, you know. And so it kind of just went downhill as the book went. But again, I still really enjoyed this. I would recommend, even though it's 2.75 stars, I would still recommend it to people that I feel like would like this. But yeah, I did read Dial A for Aunties. I didn't realise it was the same author, to be honest, until I finished it. But yeah, I did finish Dial A for Aunties, and I rated that 4 stars. So I don't know what it is. Again, I don't know if it's just because my focus isn't specifically in books. But yeah, so that is the update for that. Oh, actually, I'm going to tell you a bit about what it's about. So it's about Vera Wong. She owns a tea shop, and she is a mother, but her son is like away, living his life. He's grown up, and so her tea shop isn't very like well known. It isn't very popular. But then she finds a man dead in the middle of her tea shop, and so she wants to find out like what happened and everything, because she doesn't feel like the police do a good job. She just feels like they just sit around doing nothing. So she decides to take it in her own hands. And yeah, it's an interesting concept, and like I said, I would recommend it, but I think it's just a me thing, to be honest. Then also last night, well, I want to say like early in the morning, I think I started this around like 2, I want to say, and then I went to sleep at 6, got up at 11, and finished the last like 200 pages. So before I went to sleep, I read 300 pages, and then I finished the last 200. And that is A Million Kisses in Your Lifetime by Michael Matthew. I finally got to this. It has been a while. This has been on my physical TBR for so long, and I'm glad that it's finally off it, to be honest. Did I expect to love this as much as I did? No, I didn't. I honestly thought it was going to probably be like a 2.75 stars, 3 stars, like just by looking at it, just by knowing what it's about. But I was hooked from pretty much the beginning, and yeah, so I did rate it 4.75 stars. I was debating 5-star, but there was times where Ren did annoy me a little bit. I just felt like there was times where she was a little bit immature, but otherwise, other than that, it's fine. Oh, and some of like the words that they used was a bit cringe, and I was a bit like, oh, I don't like her nickname that Korea's given her. That cringed me out a bit. But other than that, the storyline in general and everything in general, I really enjoyed. And like I said, I was hooked. I read it in 2 sittings. I mean, I just did not want to put it down. So yeah, that's a good thing. And then, these are just quick ones. And then next I'll start reading tomorrow. This is just the cover. But I have only got 15 pages in, and it's already not looking like a good start for me. Like, I don't know what it is, but I was kind of bored from the get-go. But I am going to give it a chance, obviously. It's probably just because I was tired, you know. But yeah, I did start this earlier today after I finished A Million Kisses in Your Lifetime. So, like I said, I am going to give it a go. And then next is I Love You, I Hate You by Elizabeth Davis. So I haven't moved it in this actually, but I have got 50 pages in, or around that, because I was listening to an audio book while I was editing. But yeah, it's okay so far. I just don't feel like it's going to be a favourite. It's alright, and it kind of, at the moment, kind of reminds me of the Hating Game. Not so much, but like with the workplace and like the enemies to lovers, that kind of stuff, but it's different in its own way, if that makes sense. So yeah, I might be finishing these in my next weekly reading vlog. I'm not sure though, it depends if I finish them before I get to do my next reading vlog. So I'm not going to promise anything. Maybe tomorrow I'll do my next reading vlog, but this won't take me long to finish it also. Yeah, those are all the books that I have read. I don't even know how many books I have finished in this reading vlog. But yeah, if you've made it to the end, leave a owl emoji. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. If you please like and subscribe if you want. It's free, and I hope to see you in my next video. Bye.